Hi, my name is Caleb Della Serna, and this is my greenhouse crop evaluation video for HORT 4050. Just a general overview of what I'll be talking about. The overall goal was to produce high quality poinsettias for the November plant sale, and then some of the cultivars that we grew were Imperial, Grande Italia, Viking Cinnamon, Early Polly's Pink, Red Glitter, and Red Soul. Some of the main production areas that I'll be talking about today are planting and establishment, irrigation and control, height control, pH and EC management, pest management, and obviously the sale preparation. Initial planting started by us receiving poinsettia plugs that we transplanted into 4 to 6 inch pots, ensuring that the roots were spread naturally. The pots were well filled with substrate, and they were placed under bright and indirect light. And then for our indirect set or irrigation setup, we had a drip irrigation setup with individual emitters, having each pot have each individual emitter. This was selected for a more uniform moisture and also helping reduce disease by since the emitters are applying the water directly to the roots. This keeps the foliage dry so that disease can't build up on those wet leaves. And for fertilizer, we used a 300 ppm 1 to 50 dilution delivered through the dosatron. Some of the cultural practices that we did throughout the year is pinching. Whenever we took the top main stem of the poinsettia and broke it off, this is to promote the branching of the outward branching of the poinsettia and also improving the symmetry of the poinsettia itself, and also making sure that it doesn't just grow straight up and to be too tall. Pest and disease management, Pam applied Marathon around September, and then we were also scouting every week for white flies, mites, and fungus gnats, and then also removed any dead leaves that we found that were lying around or any dead branches. And then sometime in October, we applied Bonsai, a PGR. This was to reduce the growth of the poinsettias because they were growing really tall and wide. So we applied this to all of them to make sure they stay that compact, desirable shape. As for our pH and EC management, the desired pH we were looking for was 5.8 to 6.4, and the EC was 1.5 to 2.5. We measured this through the pour through method, taking DI water and pouring it into the pot of the already irrigated plant and making sure, and then taking the pH and EC of that runoff DI water that's collected at the bottom. Overall, our pH generally did remain in the 5.8 to 6.4 range. And our EC did kind of vary a little bit in the beginning, but then it was able to stabilize to the desired range towards the end. So pretty much what went well, utilizing the uniform irrigation from the drip irrigation was really helpful, and also pinching allowed for our plants to not grow too big, but also have that good shape by November. The Along with that, the bonsai was also very accurately timed. EC was able to stabilize itself over time, and overall the sales prep having all the big signs showing where each of the plants were, and also the golden wraps in the bags were also extremely helpful. Some of the things that could be improved is that sometimes we did lose a couple of plants just because we didn't realize there was a emitter missing. Maybe if we went back and looked at it a little bit more often than we did, we would probably catch on to those things a lot sooner. And also some of our pH and EC readings were inaccurate or not similar to the other ones that were recorded in the same day. This is likely due to maybe the water wasn't fully absorbed into the substrate. So then some of the readings were just the readings of the pH of the DI water rather than the actual substrate itself. We also paid closer attention to pests and other diseases on plants. I know we were able to catch mites on some of the plants that we had, but also um, there was like a slight viral symptom on some of the poinsettias. It didn't look too bad. Just to make sure that we could like keep a track of that, and also for the greenhouse location of the sale, since it is in kind of an awkward location where not a lot of foot traffic could go. Maybe we could have it like located in a different area, like just like a subsection, or like some of our plants being sold at a different point, just to increase our overall sales in the end. The final takeaway is that poinsettia production requires a lot of like precise timing and attention. The combination of pinching, consistent fertilization, and PGR allowed us to produce high quality plants. And also, the hands on greenhouse work really showed how environmental, nutritional, and managerial decisions affect plant growth. So, basically, how well we pay attention to the poinsettias, pretty much the work you put in is what you get out of it. And that concludes my greenhouse management crop evaluation video. I appreciate you, and I appreciate taking this class. I definitely learned a lot from it, and hope to see you guys soon. Thanks.